As you all reconvene at the night market after about a day and a half since you last saw each other, you come here with the knowledge that Clara reached out to you all saying she would take another day to figure out the task she's working on, but the rest of you are still able to meet on time. You've all gone off in your own path for the last day and a half to progress your own motives, research Krenko or other issues, keep jobs going on, pay rent, any personal issues, as well as advancing goals. You all reconvene at the night market. What would you like to do? I don't think we need much of a recap from last time because it was just discussion on next steps.
I have a feeling
the discussion of the plan of the discussion.
I got no words of that.
Now we have to plan the plan.
Kai, I have a unique quandary for you.
Wander away.
Are you blind?
No, I am not. But
I've never seen you without those dark glasses on, and I've found it most intriguing. I thought perhaps if you were, it could... I pondered this last night, that it would create a unique opportunity, but... Alas, it seems that my experimentation will have to wait.
So, fun fact, I was wearing full-on welding goggles about before our meeting, and now I am wearing what's in the token. See, a few moons ago, during one of our encounters, I had a very intimate encounter with the Eternal Flame, and it has granted me some abilities. However, it has made my eyes very sensitive, so I've taken measures to protect them.
Interesting. That's unfortunate. I can begin looking into something if you would like to remedy this effect of there. After all, I'm capable of strengthening my own to quite impossible feats for a human. I may be able to do the same for you.
If I know what you're speaking of, it's of no concern.
I trust you enough to leave that decision up to you. Also, I believe that somebody was supposed to find some, this Krenko so that we could get more information on that prison, correct?
Indeed. So, I ventured back to, the Boros, and I was able to find some information on Krenko and his, not necessarily his whereabouts, but some places that he tends to frequent. So the reason he's able to get out of prison is because he has some unknown way to break through the force barriers that are set in the prison.
The what?
I guess there are force barriers in the prison. He has a way to escape.
You
The
would probably be able to know this. The high security supermax prisons tend to have not just like steel crates, but they have anti-magic fields and force barriers locking in the prisoners because they are high risk, high security.
I see.
Okay.
Now, is there anything else, Gideon? Tavro?
Yeah, sorry, I was just writing that down. But that barrier could potentially inhibit our plan to enchant some object to make Krenko appear dead.
It also means getting him out of the prison could be more complicated than we thought.
I'm not trying to break out Krenko.
we're trying to break out the bugbear. Franco's who we're trying to
Yeah.
find
We're
because
trying to
we
pick up
might have.
Elaine.
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize. No, I was not talking about I wasn't talking to any of you. My mistake. I could see that. I can understand the confusion.
So I got that a tad confused for a second.
He has imaginary
Do you want to break up
friends.
Franco?
Two involved in the prison. No, we need to return Cranko.
I'm asking
Sorry, can-
Escher.
Hmm.
Uh,
What are you asking me?
Are you planning on breaking out Franco?
No,
Once we
no, no.
Put him back in?
Our other target of desire, though, if getting Cranko out of prison is a side effect of that, then so be it.
Franco's already out of prison. We're trying to catch him.
We're trying to catch him.
That
I was
wasn't the
gonna,
whole point, because he knows how to escape prison. Perhaps if he was to escape it again, he could take our friend with him.
Well, they already know
Discuss that as
how
an
he's
option.
escaping, so I think they might be able to eventually put a stop to it. If it's true that he's just escaping because he cannot be affected by these magical barriers, then I don't know how we could transfer that power to our compatriots, let alone have it be of any use when he's, still in a steel cage and unable to break out of that.
Well, my religious compatriot, you have overlooked something. The Boros seem to know what his tactic for escaping is. However, they still lack the how. If we were to come upon this answer, perhaps we could utilize it ourselves to aid our new ally.
And thus, the argument for finding Krakow is strengthened even further. Do the Boros have anything else to contribute?
so the gangs that Cranko usually leads, they are usually found around 10th Street. And recently, some of his goons were seen pulling up a sewer grate in the early hours near.
I didn't mean to do that. What's going on? Oh, wait.
You just learned some shocking information.
Yeah, exactly.
There is an arms dealer that he communicates with, who sometimes is at the night market, whose name is Felice.
If that is all, then Tavro, Gideon, for the next 30 seconds, you are not Boros members, and you are just listening and hearing this as nondescript people. Okay?
Understood.
So,
Am I supposed to be hearing something?
yeah, I was seeing if Gideon was going to say anything, but I'll just go. My
Gideon uses his insignia to change it to be a member of the Orzhov, so it makes it look like he's not a member of the Boros.
I was meaning mentally. Anyway, so my contacts on the street have been investigating Cranko for some time now, I foresaw this coming up a while ago, and they have also provided me some information. I can comment that there is an arms dealer that has been supplying these gangs. However, if we ever approach them, you are not to be wearing any insignia of the Boros or the Azorius. As I just look at all of them, and then continue. I do not want to give them the false impression that we are cracking down on them, instead of using them as simply a gateway. Beyond that, I do know that there are a few other contacts that could help us even further locate Krakow. But again, we must ensure that we are not acting as, or coming off as Boros or Azorius. There is a tavern where I know the arms dealer is known to frequent that we can perhaps go to and find. Alternatively, I do know that the gang war has, in earnest, sort of started, and that Cranko is not necessarily any more on 10th Street, as the Shatter gang has been pushed, you could say, through the whole ordeal. Krenko has instead been confined to Foundry Street.
Wait, like Foundry Virtual Tabletop Street?
Yes, we are here now. Krenko is Foundry.
Oh
Zach,
god, he's
real quick.
hiding in the source code.
Zach,
you
just from
you
my
got me.
knowledge, when facing the Gruul, do they normally wear like Gruul insignia, or are they like too chaotic to actually do that?
So the Gruul is split up into many smaller clans and tribes, and depending on which clan you are dealing with, some of them are like, they are basically anti-society, but that does not
Right.
mean that all of them are anti-intelligence or anti-structure. It's more of they just follow their own structures. So there are quite a few of the tribes who take lots of pride with being like under the label of Gruul, because they see the Gruul as like the strong ones pushing back. There are also lots of tribes who are like, yeah, I mean, you can call us Gruul because we don't believe in government, but at the same
Right.
time, don't fucking call us Gruul because we don't believe in the guild system.
Right. Yeah, and
Anarcho-capitalism.
Tavro, since you would already know that, having faced them many times. Hold on. There we are. You're welcome for that.
Big
Yeah,
yawn.
this is actually turned into an ASMR channel. Here I am, and I'm gonna just start rubbing Gulliver's fur on the mic. No, and I just want to pipe up and be like, as much as I hate to say it, if I take off my Boros insignia, I could maybe pass for a Gruul.
Yes, and I've done quite a bit of work with the Gruul myself in the past. I believe I will fit right in.
What have you done with the Gruul?
What do you mean?
What work have you done with them?
Oh, hold on. I forgot I can ping now. Oh, well, you see, some of their arcanists are quite potent. It actually seems that the magic that the Gruul harness is rather similar to that which the Simic use for a lot of their own experimentation. And for those experiments I thought the Simic might frown upon, I took it to myself to seek other sources of arcane knowledge.
Did you
Go ahead.
Did you give an ogre superhuman intelligence?
No, but that's an intriguing thought.
Oh, okay.
As you say that, I just kind of like snort like the cow breath out. That's like. I don't know
like
how to
that,
make
huh?
that noise effectively. But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
He snorfles.
Tell me how many nipples I have, Escher.
Well, let's count.
Please no.
A 1, a 2.
If you said yes right there, it would have just immediately become canon that you created Gorglock.
Oh. Nah, it's not my wheelhouse.
No, he just gave an like an ogre like crabbed arms.
Oh god, no,
God.
I'm no... I scoff at you, sir. I am no biomancer. I wouldn't dream of such a thing. It's barbaric.
Isn't
They
that the
teach
only
crab
thing
claws and
you Simic do?
You are mistaken. I work with the Simic, but that make me a Simic, that does not. They are simply a
Very
useful
smooth.
means to an end.
Very well.
Many of them fail to see that there is more to this world, more to science than bodily augmentation. But regardless, in terms of the Gruul, yes, they're arcanists. I believe they call themselves druids. They are quite wise. They have given me much input on the arcane arts. So, if need be, I could always reach out to them again and see if they'd be willing to aid us.
Perhaps, I suppose. I mean, we also helped. I forget the name because it was my first day, but that a druidic enclave with an undead development. Although
The
they were
circle
not too
of the
keen.
14 points.
Yeah, at the circle of the 14 points. But then again, they weren't so keen on Fox Machine having dominated that undead.
You've worked with the 14
I'm a bit
points
of a
before.
dominatrix.
We have worked with them before, and we were explicitly instructed to never work with them again.
Oh, a shame. Good people. Quite fun. They are talented, to say the least. Some of their methods are a bit worrisome, but I've learned some interesting techniques from them, in fact. Their tact with the arcane is intriguing.
Vinny, just so you know, or Escher would know this, they're all very naturalist druids.
I figured.
Yeah, just letting you know.
Though I suppose if we will not be contacting them, we can always. There are other enclaves of these druids we could seek out.
And,
I feel we have gone off on a tangent.
Also, just one thing for Kai. The leader of the 14 points made it very clear. All of you are welcome back at any time except for Fox.
Oh,
Right,
sorry.
'cause-
I thought
Nice.
I guess I was just with Fox when she said never come back here again.
Yeah, that was directed very much at the Necromancer, which is basically the antithesis to their entire druidic order.
Who said that?
Okay, I thought it was directed at both of us.
Yeah.
Who told them?
I also barely.
Come back.
The druids that you cleared the Bone Collective out of their, forest clearing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I also barely spoke to anyone there. I basically just found you guys already fighting my quarry and went like, okay, time to get huge.
As the Tavro do.
As
Oh,
Who are you?
Pablo. Now,
So it sounds
if
like we should check out 10th Street.
I suppose.
Well, I feel
Well,
like that's a big
wasn't
street.
wasn't Fox's whole thing about how he's not there anymore, or he's
I
less
thought it
likely
was
to be
a
there?
different street that he wasn't at anymore. I got-
Foundry Street. So it's a gang war, and one of the gangs has pushed him out from 10th Street onto Foundry Street.
Ah, okay. Sorry, I thought it was the other way around.
But there are places on 10th Street where it's contacts that could also help locate, because I just know they're in an abandoned warehouse out there.
And how much do you trust this source of information?
I have worked with this source for over 4 years.
Well, if they're so confident, God damn it, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm
Being
experimenting,
what
sorry.
you're like, that doesn't inspire me.
If that is the case, why have they not acted on the information already?
For them, not as, well, what's a simple way to put this? High level in the Orzhov Guild as I am, they only enact on what they are told. I am given the freedom to pursue my own goals.
That's convenient.
I simply find it perplexing that such information would be so readily available to us. It seems like something that would be kept an utmost secret. Nevertheless, it's all we have.
I mean, gang wars are typically pretty easy to spot.
My guild is in the business of protecting businesses from this sorts of violence. It is exactly the business we would know.
Additionally, even if we come upon the gang that Krenko is fighting, we could perhaps convince our way out of a tough situation, get information from them in order to take down Krenko.
Simply put, we double dip. Say, we will deal with your Krenko, you move in, take their territory, in return, we get some monetary compensation. Then we turn around and take Krenko for that bounty. I think it'd be a wonderful arrangement.
Indeed.
That is risky. It could definitely threaten the well-being of many of our compatriots here. However, it's not wholly unreasonable. I can see the logic in it, and therefore it might be the best opportunity we have.
Dealing with this Krenko would be better than letting him fester. He's already proclaiming he has a magic shiv to deal with all of his enemies, and he's gone off and started putting bounties and other such on all his rivals.
Yes, and that's all well and good. However, we still do need to get that information about penetrating the force barriers within the prison. Do not forget this.
We will. Getting to Krenko is vital to that. Once we get the information needed, then what we do with him, that is to be figured out at the time. But to even get there, we must first identify where he is located. If no one has any other off ideas, I would offer going to one of the contacts I was told about.
I think that sounds good. But also, Escher, just to make sure you're aware, the 2nd Precinct prison does not have the force barriers.
Oh.
No, it is only the Supermax prisons.
It's only Supermax.
There
Just
are
so we're clear.
Yeah, there are like anti-magic fields in all of the prisons, but there are only force barriers in the Supermaxes.
Well, this Krenko character still was able to exit of his own will from this prison as well. It could still be valuable to learn how, would it not?
Indeed.
In fact,
Just wanted to make
that
sure.
only proves that penetration of the force barrier is not his only trick.
And he did break out of the 2nd Precinct once, or the last time he was captured. So he clearly has some way to get past the anti-magic barrier. Yeah, I say we follow I forgot your name, Fox's contact.
That's all I got.
The arms dealer?
Well, there's the arms dealer. We know where they frequent at night, but I have a contact that personally knows them that perhaps we could try to get more information out of.
I say we go for it.
Sure.
And
Otherwise, we'll just talk for this entire session.
as I look Tavro and getting up and down, we'll need to get something else other than that on you, as I sort of point at the red and white rags, uniforms.
Well,
I think it could be a powerful tool for negotiation. Say that we're only after Krenko.
Let's just say where we're going. They're more likely to not say a word if they think there's any involvement of cops.
Yeah.
I can change my as part of getting my insignia, I can change it to show any guild insignia, or I can have none. So
yeah,
I'll just
so your whole thing is your entire uniform can basically change to make you look like you're in any of the 10 guilds, or just a commoner who's guildless.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look like a commoner. So you don't gotta worry about me.
A couple of random commoners I feel like might be a little more suspicious than if perhaps you were just to switch to Orzhov, because I at least have a reason to talk to them.
Sure, there's strength in
I may need to appear guildless.
I look you up and down and say, why, the Orzhov is always willing to take Well, I guess not, but you could make a fine something for the Orzhov.
If you have an extra insignia.
I might.
Or we could just say that I am.
Or you could just put on a uniform and say that you are.
Yeah. I could always be crooked hired muscle.
Yeah, I like that. Let's just get you into some, let's just have you change, like, from your uniform to some, like, common clothes or something.
My uniform is basically a big metal plate strapped to my chest and then the insignia on that.
So perhaps changing that might be...
Yeah, I think I could just take the insignia off.
You could just take your insignia off. Yeah.
Yeah, once we get over there, I'll just do that.
I mean, you're still wearing like a Boros uniform, though.
Ah, shite.
Like your insignia is your identifier, but like the way people dress is culturally enough to tell like what guild they're a part of for the most part.
Can I stop by the church as we head out and get a pair of very large pants?
Yeah, I don't necessarily need the clothes of an Orzhov, but I just need non-Boros clothes.
Yeah, and I mean, you could get those, like, from wherever you stay, whether it's your guild hall or not. Like, you also do have street clothes.
Yeah.
Like, most of the time, you guys all wear your guild clothes because it gives you a air of professionality, especially as you do your business, but everybody does have plain clothes if they want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably just grab some then and switch into that. And then, shall we?
So
I suppose we shall then. Oh, do you mean to say something, Justin?
Aldrich's probably gonna ask for if anyone has an extra pair of clothes, because he like kind of looks over and like sniffs some stuff. Like, I kind of stink here.
Do you want a pair of Orzhov clothes?
If you had anything that was plain.
I'm trying to pimp you all out in Orzhov gold, but y'all playing.
I'd rather not be owing myself at all to the Orzhov.
Smart man.
Yeah, it's respectable. If it makes you feel any better, Escher, they're criminals. I doubt they care that much if one of us stinks.
What? What's the problem?
Fair enough.
Wasn't talking to you, Escher.
Were you not?
No.
He meant to say Aldrich.
Aldrich.
Oh, did I say Escher? I'm sorry, I meant Aldrich. Fuck you, Escher. No.
I mean, there is a pit of water over here. You could take a dump.
Yeah, not take a dip, take a dump.
Yeah. So like, I'm gonna look over and just like peer over the side toward the water and just like, how clear is this water, Mr. DM?
Wait, how clear is the sewer water that you were in?
No, the water on the side to the Undercity.
Oh, that is fairly clean. It's enough where like daily people travel up and down through it. It's not like perfectly clean water, but it's clean enough that you wouldn't get sick from like bathing in it.
Can I look side to side and like as I go over and just like take my shirt and kind of like put it in. Like, does anyone look at me strange as I'm like kind of rinsing off my shirt?
I mean, yeah, like there are goblins who are like going about doing their work, moving. Like goblins and humans are just moving like boxes between warehouses, coming up, distributing things, and like you just start bathing. And like doing some laundry in the well that people traverse through to get between here and the Undercity, and you're definitely getting some weird looks. No one stops you, but like people are staring.
So as Aldrich does the shirt at first, and then he notices the stairs, and he decides just to leave it at the shirt and just walk back. And he's like his self-consciousness just took over. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this. So he did the shirt, got the looks, and just walked back, like kind of shirtless, and putting his shirt by the fire, trying to dry it off a little bit.
All right, yeah. So the rest of you see as he just walks to the well that most of you have come up through, and then comes back with a soaking wet shirt that he just like drapes next to the fire.
Yeah, that wasn't a good idea.
Aldrich, how long were you in the Underdark?
I mean, I spoke to someone earlier. Apparently, it was about like 2 months or so. I couldn't tell. Like, time just stopped existing for a while for me, but a measly
So I
2
guess
months,
it's just
I guess.
a poor-person thing, then.
Looks up at Fox and just like kind of like he chuckles, but not like there's no smile on his face. Like, yeah, I guess.
You know, Aldrich, if you want to smack him, just join the club. We're all in line.
No, it's all right.
Then maybe we head off to 10th Street.
To the south of 10th Street, we head off.
Indeed.
So we are going to go there first and try to...
Indeed, we are going to the bakery.
Yes! Yes!
Okay.
As you just make Tavro's entire day because you mentioned baked goods.
I'm gonna get me some brioche.
Alright,
I
so
want to know.
the market you're at is on 10th Street. It's a bit towards the like it's kind of like halfway between the two places you recognize. Fox, it takes you about an hour and a half of walking if you're gonna follow the street down to get to Nagra's Remedies.
Indeed, I do.
All right. In that case, give me a second while I put all your tokens on here.
Hey, buddy, come on.
As you all end up... Oh, not Clara. So you're just, like, walking along the street, and at the further south you go, you notice as the labs on the north end... So the night market is kind of halfway between where the labs and the warehouses are mixing and intermingling. As you go further south, it's far more warehouses than labs, and then you kind of hit a point an hour in where you start to smell less like sulfur and smoke in the air and more like the sweet smell of food. You see as it's more bustling, less with people moving goods and more with people on commerce as you approach Sage's Row, one of the commerce centers of the 10th district. And in Sage's Row, you approach a rather large-looking bakery with a sign over the top with like immaculate calligraphy that says Nagra's Remedies. Cures any ailment for a pittance of gold. And the door is like, wide open as you approach.
Act natural. Let us go.
Bread.
And as you go in, you see this female goblin who is like wearing an apron and is like working out, kneading some doughs. And as she like hears you all coming through, she dusts herself off and kind of like patters over to a desk towards the front, and perks up a little bit and goes, "Ah, welcome to Nagra's Remedies. May I interest you in any baked goods, or are you looking for something a bit more medicinal?
Right.
I can bake the sickness out of anything."
I'm just gonna flick a
I find that
coin
hard to
to
believe.
Tavro and say, "Go crazy, my bovine compatriot."
How do we get
I hate
in?
to say it, but okay.
Is it not letting you through?
No.
No.
Oh, shit. I put an accidental door there.
Yeah, I busted through.
Yep, I accidentally set that as a window, not a door. That's my
I like
bad.
how as soon as you set it to a door, I just see a bunch of tokens moving around with their newfound freedom inside.
Yep. So, now that you're able to come in and you aren't just standing awkwardly at the entrance all trying to break through this force field, you see as Nagra goes, "Oh, so many customers at once. Yes, yes, come in. We have many fresh baked goods for the day. May I interest you in some of our fruit-filled pastries, or maybe a,
The fucking lootly. How much?
Well, what are you looking for? We have many options. We have our fresh breads, we have our pastries,
The fruit-filled pastry.
and she goes, we do have some fresh filled. We call them lotus blooms, and you see as she kind of like directs you to what looks like a baked pastry filled with like slices of apple that are arranged in the shape of like a lotus flower. She goes, "It's wonderful. I've just whipped them up this morning. It's a bit of a new recipe, so if you'd like to try it, since you'd be one of the first, we can give you a good deal. Maybe 8 copper for one."
Deal.
And as you slide over the money, she gives you, like, she just kind of like puts it into a little paper paper sack and hands it over to you. I assume you just swallow it whole.
I buy one too.
No. I politely go to just like just outside the entrance since the door's wide open, right?
The door is wide
And
open,
then
and like there's a few scattered chairs and stuff. It's not quite like a sit down place, but there's like a few places to like sit and like eat a pastry or have a coffee.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna step out and then take it out of the bag immediately and just.
It is delicious. It tastes like an apple tart. As Escher just jumps on the table with the baked goods and starts stomping on the pies.
I'm gonna buy 3
It's a
more
real
of them.
boog moment there, Escher.
And she goes, "Oh, getting for all your friends? How lovely. Yes, and as I told the Minotaur, it's 8 copper for one of them, but you're getting 3. Let's drop it to 7 each. Even a bit better. Let's make it a solid 2 silver, and you can have 3. Since you're bringing in so many new customers."
Why, thank you. Quite the deal, I say as I flick over the 2 pieces. And then as I take each piece, I start handing them to all the people around me.
Yeah, and you see as she's just like, she has a little like money tin that she's putting things in and collecting as she slides over the pastries to you. "Can I interest you in a coffee? Maybe a newspaper while you wait?"
Well, I suppose I am looking for some news, but not any that would be in a paper. You could, I say, as I sort of distance myself away from the group itself. Actually, no, more over here.
And she goes, I'm not sure what I can help you with outside the paper. I'd be happy to discuss the rising flower prices. I'm not a fan of the inflation lately. And all of the Silesians, shutting down some of those fruit plantations for more grazing fields. I don't understand it.
Oh no.
Well, as it turns out, my friend over there, as I point at Aldrich, has come down with quite the ailment, and I was hoping that you would be able to. I heard that you had some skill in making things, well, better. He's been
yes,
having
as I
quite
said.
the horrible cough and other strange maladies.
Yes, as I said, my natural remedies can cure any ailment. Now, you say it's and you see as she, like, walks over to you, Aldrich, and starts, like, prodding around, and, like, she starts, like, tapping you on the back, she starts, like, just prodding you and asking you questions. How long have you had this cough? Are there any other symptoms?
Excuse me, ma'am, I'll have you know that this patient is under my care.
I'm sorry, I was just told that I was.
And I turn around to look at Aldrich and I go, "What cough? What happened?"
I'm a bit peckish, but it's not really a cough or anything.
That is one thing to note, Aldrich. At this point, it's been 2 days since you fed. You are starving.
Nice. And now he's in the bread shop. He's like, I'm kind of peckish, but I never really had a cough. As I'm like trying to speak to Escher, but like, can the owner hear me or something?
Unless you're trying to avoid her hearing you, she goes, "Oh, peckish, then you're in the right place. We have pastries and other foods galore. And I can keep it a bit cheaper for you if you're not trying to cure anything. Everything's delicious, my guarantee."
Yes, let's get you something to eat. Adverse effects are something we're going to want to keep very careful track of. It would be in our best interest to note them.
How much for the... Oh, you want a full loaf? That won't cost you too much. A single silver for sourdough loaf.
Deal.
You all are coming in to make my day quite fruitful. I appreciate it. So early, and yet... What is this? 6 customers all at once, buying all my wares? It's a good day for Nogra indeed.
Yeah. I will specify I'm not eating this immediately. Look, okay. Bread is just baked wheat
Yeah,
or
and
grain.
one thing to note that one loaf of bread, if you wanted to save it, is 1 day of rations.
Oh, I was just gonna eat. I was just gonna like slowly eat it on the way on the rest of our journey.
You can also like have it as snacks. I'm just saying, like, mechanically, if you guys want to buy stuff for rations,
I got you. That's good to know.
Yeah, about 1 silver will be equivalent to a day's worth of rations.
As this all continues, I sort of saunter back and, yeah, a good day it is, and perhaps you could help make it a good day for us as well.
I'm certainly hoping that my pastries make it a good day for you.
They are quite scrumptious, if you could tell from the looks on all my compatriots' faces, and we could certainly may need to get a few more, but I heard that you actually were friends with someone that I was trying to find out where they were, for I fear they're in a bit of danger.
Maybe. If it's a regular, I might be able to know who they are, but I need a bit more details than just someone.
There's a, is it engineer, a lady named Fallish. The problem is, I've heard news that, she was dealing with a couple of bad fellas, and they learned that, these rival fellows learned that she was dealing with both of them, and now they might both be after her. And someone needs to warn her of this promptly.
Alright, as you are saying this, give me a persuasion check, and since you've been lining her pockets, make it with advantage. And everybody can also give an insight check at the same time.
Oh, I'm actually okay at that.
A nat
Is it
20
everyone?
is generally pretty good.
Hey, D&D 1 rules, it's not, it's an automatic success, of course.
That's two natural
Two
20s.
automatic successes, and I would like
Well, we
my
gotta keep it up.
inspiration now.
Do the insights go
you know
with
what?
advantage too, or normal?
I'm actually alright with play testing this with my potentially revised rules. So, the two of you who rolled nat 20s can have inspiration.
Oh, okay.
Wait, are
This
we
is-
actually doing this?
We're gonna
Yeah.
play test a modification to the 1 D&D rules where you can get inspiration up to twice a session.
Interesting. Okay.
The second time has to be given to someone else.
Interesting.
It's one of the result changes that I saw online that seems like it could get around the problem, and might as well try it out. If we don't
Yeah, we
like
can
it,
give it
we
a
don't
shot.
do it next week. Yeah. And so almost a third nat 20. Goddamn. So as you're trying to kind of speak about this, Kai and Gideon, you immediately notice as soon she's just nodding along, and she's kind of grunting in affirmation as you say, "Is it engineers?" She's like, "Oh yes, 10th Street. We have lots of Is it engineers visiting here." And then you say the name Fallish, and she immediately clams up. It's not super noticeable, but you see her eyes go wide, her posture gets a little bit straighter, and then she goes, yes, I'm sorry. I think I've sold to Fallish once or twice before. What are you looking for with her? We've done some business.
I am looking to protect her from, as I sort of lean down, there's going to be a gang war.
And as you do that, she just goes up to the door, shuts it, and puts a "Be back in 15" sign up. And then she goes,
Oh.
"Alright, what's going on here?"
We know Fallish has been dealing with all three sides, and they are close to figuring it out. She needs to be warned.
And with your previous nat 20 persuasion check, she's listening and she's just nodding along, and she goes, "And you're looking to, make a deal with her yourselves?"
Simply put, my guild is in, the business of protection. I would like to offer her our services at minimum, and beyond that, to deal with some of the people that are close to figuring her out. I believe, as a weapons engineer, we would be able to make a great deal out of it.
And you see as she thinks for a few seconds and goes, "Fallish is one of my best customers. I sell some of my reagents to her for her experiments, and that's, as a side business, quite a bit more lucrative than just my baking. Which, of course, is my passion. Yes, I think you and I can come to an agreement, for I would like to see my own interests protected. Buy, how about you buy my stock of the lotus blooms, and I let you know where Phalish runs her shop out of.
How many lotus blooms are there?
As Tavro's ready with money in hand.
Well, you've already bought 4, and I made a batch of 24 this morning, so there's 20 left.
Only 20?
160 copper slash
Yeah, so
16 silver.
Yeah, and she goes, to make the math easy, why don't we just call it a gold and a half, and I give up the location.
That is agreeable, I say as I exchange it over.
I'll split it with you.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
do the gold, you do the half.
Oh,
Tavro
okay.
is so happy. So you can also distribute this as you want, but
Tavro gets most of them.
Yeah, so they're not quite... Each of these is just a little bit less than a full days of rations, so with the 20, that is 15 days worth of rations.
So many lotus.
And she goes, alright, do you have a map for me to mark, or would you just like me to describe?
Do we own a map?
You can start with a map of the 10th district. That is...
Okay, then I pull out the map.
That is like a readily available thing at any convenience store, so... That is something that you can have if you want.
Can Aldrich bring out a map?
Yeah, Aldrich can have a map. And you see as she marks a spot a bit north on a bit north on Tin Street. So you see as she starts describing, she goes, up near Nassus Plaza, there's a tavern that she frequents quite a bit. That's probably where you'll be easiest to find the general area. The Millstone Tavern. She's a bit north of there, a bit closer to the Mizium Foundries. But if you follow that up, and like you see as she marks a specific spot on your map, there's a laboratory that was foreclosed a while back. She's set up a shop. It has some illusion magic on it to make it seem like it's still dilapidated and abandoned. But if you rasp 3 times on what looks to be a broken door, and then wait a few seconds, rasp 2 more times, Phalish, if she's there, will answer. Otherwise, you're likely to find her at the tavern. If you're going, would you mind passing along a message for me?
Of course.
Tell her that Nogra has a new reagent that she might be interested in. The one she's been contracting. I think I've finally cracked the formula. So I have a few vials for her to test out.
I'm assuming it's still...
Alright. And I just sort of nod, looking over all the map notes and say, I thank you. And it was a pleasure doing business with you.
Are we allowed to keep the map?
It's my map.
Oh.
It's Fox's map.
Oh, yeah, right.
So what she does is she, like, just draws, like, she gets out, like, a quill, draws a circle, and then, just writes, special shop, knock 3 times, then twice.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I thought it was her map, so, my mistake.
And before we leave, do you have anything that can cure poison?
Oh, yes.
What could you possibly need that for?
If you're looking for
To cure
more,
poison, immediately drops dead.
as I said, Nogger's remedies can cure all. What poisons are you looking to cure? Are you looking for a more general, solvent?
A general might be good. I'm just making sure I know it's in mind because, well, it happens to me before. I say with a half cough.
Yes, I must warn that they're a bit more expensive than my other pastries. A cure-all will run you about 50 gold. Although, if you know that someone's trying to poison you, I can sell you a more preventative antidote for a bit cheaper. Although it's not effective for very long.
Good to know. I will have to keep this in mind because I fear it may happen again. I just don't know when.
May I entrust you in some cure-alls now, then? I promise that
Well,
most potions are disgusting. That is where my true passion comes in. I can make them delicious by infusing them into my pastries.
we will perhaps have to come back. We are on a time-sensitive mission, and we do love your pastries, isn't that right, Tavro?
I'm holding like 15 of them in my arms.
Yes, you do, my little cow man.
Also, as much as Tavro fucking loves these things, I don't think he can reasonably hold on to like 15 out of 20 of them. Would anybody like some?
He just stabs them through his spear and eats them like a kebab.
Aldrich tries to like satiate his hunger with them.
So, have you got... I know this is a
Yeah,
real
I'll absolutely
fucking...
give one to you.
This is a somewhat strange, like, real callback, but do you all remember iCarly, the guy who would put everything on a stick?
Yes.
Yes.
That is what I'm picturing. Just taking all of these lotus things and just stabbing
I'm not
them onto
eating
his
it off
spear.
of the spear.
But Tavro, imagine
Making
in the
fanfic of
midst
me.
of battle, and you stab someone with your spear, it comes back, and then you just grasp it and take a nice bite out of the lotus, and then throw it once more. It's a beautiful sight.
Oh.
Well,
I
please
think we're done.
return at any time. I'm always happy to do business with a new customer. Oh, yes, of course. And, like, as she gave them over to you, like, she wrapped them in, like, little, like, wax paper bags, but she's like, yes, I do believe you have enough. And you see as she, like, gets a, like, a cloth bag and hands it over to you. He goes, no further cost. You've done so much for me already.
Thank you.
I look
I'd like to
toward
put them in
Fox.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Justin.
I look toward Fox and like, I assume like earlier you were trying to get something for my, with quotes like call. Would you offer to pay for that yourself?
No nonsense, it was worth a try at least, as I sort of sidestep out and keep heading.
Oh,
Well, we have a direction. Think
Fox,
nothing of it.
Are you concerned that somebody will be utilizing poison against us?
They've poisoned me once before, they will do it again, probably.
Truly, you've been poisoned before, by who?
As I reach in my sack and pull out the head of Miria, that is a statue.
Are you
Yes.
doing this in the public streets?
No, I will just sort of like open the bag and display the head.
Oh yeah, I know. I know where you have that head. You don't even have to open it. I know what you're going for. Interesting. Well, if it's any consolation to you, and if you were willing to let me start a subculture colony within your bloodstream, I could potentially cure you of any ailment that could be laden upon you. I assure you, I've done it on myself before. My my colony is has gotten quite adept at consuming toxins and breaking them down into more usable components.
Come the time, you have my permission, if it ever comes to that, and I would greatly appreciate it.
Understood.
Yeah, and I just like kind of like bump Escher with my elbow and be like, I had to carry him across half the precinct.
Ooh,
Aldrich.
Yeah, Aldrich, if you would like to make a inquiry, you can.
Yeah, now's the time.
Yeah, I was gonna ask him, like, my friend there had mentioned me having a cough earlier, but I think he misremembered. I had kind of a bit of a headache. I wanted to ask if you had anything that had a little, how would you say, something that has a little magic to it that may get rid of my headache.
Do you know what's causing the headache? Is this something natural, or something done to you? Maybe a recent head injury, or more emotional pain?
See, I don't really know, but it might be something natural. I don't know. Do you have anything that I just want to get rid of it? Is there anything that you can think of?
Well, I can think of a few things, but without knowing exactly what's causing your headache, well, it would be a few different things you may have to try. I can make you a few solvent teas that could help. I could provide you protection from outside magics. I could alleviate any previous head injuries you may have had. So, if you'd like to try the full suite, well, I have 4 different things that may be good for this. 5 if you count a general painkiller. But, unfortunately, if you're trying that many, it's not a... My services aren't cheap when they come with the remedies. Well, cheap for a remedy, not cheap for a pastry.
I see. As Aldrich looks at the guy, he's like, thank you though. I think I'll keep with the pastries that the big bull had earlier. Thank you for your time though.
If you'd like to just try the cheapest one, we can set you up with just a simple 15 gold.
As Aldrich jingles around from the money that he made last night, and he just looks at him like, I don't think I will, as he tucks it back in his pocket.
Come back anytime. If you know what's causing it, I can cure it.
Okay. Thank you.
Come, Aldrich. Maybe it's time we get going.
Have you tried eating 10 of the pastries? I hear that does wonders for hungry.
So I join back up with everyone outside.
Alright. So you all join up outside. And are you heading straight to Falish's shop? Are you heading to a tavern? Are you heading somewhere else? What would you all like to do?
I say let's stop by the tavern real quick, make sure she's not there for some reason, then go to her place.
Sure.
Okay.
So the tavern is about 15 minutes closer on the walk, so it is a little more convenient to just stop there. But
Alright.
while you're walking, now that it's about midday, it's pretty busy in the streets. I need someone to roll me a D100.
Oh god, I love rolling.
Damn,
95. Jeez. Okay.
not bad.
Doing good on our rolls today, guys.
Yeah, Connor, you're rolling like a fucking champ. Can't wait for that to fall apart first combat.
Right.
Yep.
So,
Nice.
you're all like just walking in about 30 minutes into your walk north on Tin Street. You're back getting near the kind of warehouse district. So you're right at the border between the warehouses and the edge of Sage's Row, this kind of market district. And you overhear a conversation happening between two people at one of the further stalls, and you hear, I hear a new scientist just moved into the district, and they're looking for volunteers to try a new experimental procedure. It's good pay, but I don't know what'll justify that price. I hear some of the other people have been getting sick with this new thing going around.
I think this is one of the times I'm going to go against my curiosity and opt to ignore that, but I'm going to make a note of that.
Fair enough. The rest of your walk for another hour or so passes fairly uneventfully as you move out of the markets and the industry and back through the night market area where it's mostly warehouses. And then on the upper end, you start to, you smell as smoke and sulfur become more prominent. There's heat coming off from the buildings around you, and everything is kind of shifting from these wooden buildings to these massive red and blue metal buildings as you move out of the warehouses and into the laboratories. And around 2 hours after you started walking from the bakery, you hear lots of noise. Not the general whirring and humming of machinery in the labs, but the rowdiness, almost of like a Rakdos nightclub, which, as you approach the Millstone Tavern. Let's move you over there. And this is surprisingly like a one, it's somewhat surprising how I'm putting your tokens on, by the way. It's somewhat surprising how loud it is considering how early in the day you are. But it's also surprising, it takes you a few minutes to notice this, that there is a full grass courtyard despite being in like complete Is-It laboratory territory.
Is there any reason I'm blind?
Because I am
putting the
still
tokens
putting
on.
you on the map.
My token is on the map.
Let me make sure that I have the lighting.
Oh, same,
set on
actually.
this. I might have the lighting set wrong on the scene. 1 second. Yep, I had token vision turned off on this. Let
That'll
me
do it.
know if you can see now.
Yes.
Yep.
A beautiful
Yeah, there we
courtyard.
My bad.
Being in a nice courtyard like this kind of makes a man want to eat some more apple tarts.
You don't eat grass when you see a courtyard like this?
So,
I'm going to ignore that.
We're just
I do it all the time.
as you're approaching... Oh wait, I have a door messed up. 1 second.
Oh, I can see in there.
I'm just gonna call everyone into a huddle real quick. We're doing like a little team huddle real quick.
What's the matter? Are these the people that poisoned you?
No. Just quick information. We are looking for Fallish. Female is its engineer. Otherwise,
Yes.
keep your eyes or ears peeled for anything mentioning Cranko, mentioning the Tin Kings, or mentioning the... What's the last name? What's Cranko's gang's name?
Krenko's boys.
Oh yeah, just Cranko's boys. Keep an ear peeled for anything mentioning those. Otherwise, we may want to split up. Spend 5-10 minutes, just get the lay of the land, then come back.
Alright.
Hold on. What? This is its engineer. Does she look like ours?
Yours.
No, I believe she is a actual human. I think.
No, she's a big dolphin.
Correct. She is like your Gideon a
Yeah.
blue person.
Oh, not like the short one, like the tall one.
Ah, yes.
Not-
She is
not
blue.
The tall one, but not the cow one.
The goblin is an
Yes.
Izzet engineer?
So she should be pretty easy to
Is.
spot.
Damn good would
One day we will get enough money to send her to college, but alas.
Yeah. Also, it
The
wasn't
Izzet
until we
allow
got to the
children to
schoolyard
be
that I realized there was
engineers?
Ethan here.
She's an adult.
She's an adult?
Yes.
My knowledge of goblin physiology is lacking.
Clara
I
is in
suppose
a
you'll have
strange
to-
position because
That's-
she was raised by humans, so she has the mindset of a human 8-year-old. But also, she's a goblin, which means she's like middle-aged.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Poor goblins. They're like dogs.
That's racist.
I don't care, they're not real. Yeah, I said it. Fuck
Hmm.
goblins.
And to think this whole time I was simplifying my prose because I thought she was a child. How enlightening. But
Now,
You should still probably do that.
let's go team. Hoorah, hoorah. And then I just turn around and start heading in.
also worth noting that Vinny will probably forget, but Escher has committed every name Fox just said to memory and will be listening out for all of them.
Yeah, because you have the Keen Mind feat, right?
Yeah, he doesn't forget shit.
Okay.
This is the entryway, right?
That is the entryway, and you see a door, and actually, like, as you're approaching, a goblin opens up the door and, like, almost slams it into you as he just, like, runs out, and you see as a soldier is just chasing this goblin out. He's like, and they're just, like, both screaming as this soldier runs the goblin out of the bar.
I would like to look back at the Boros members of the party and just like shake my head, staring them directly in the soles of their eyes.
Is there a problem?
Just making sure we do not stick out as I then stop doing that and start heading in.
Do we need okay, well, I guess we're doing this.
And
Oh,
you just kind of, like,
Jesus.
hear
Fuck.
shouts. Yeah, you just kind of hear shouts in the background as you hear the soldier go, "And no more peeing on the food or in the beer! I'll fucking kill you the next time you ruin my drink!"
This bitch huge!
Yeah, this is a large and very rowdy tavern.
Not
Like-
not the him!
Oh, yeah, as Tavro approaches, that is another thing to note. You see a Minotaur that looks like you when you're raging.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Oh
and
gosh.
you just see this like large Minotaur behind the bar, and as you approach, you just hear like a chuckle as the soldier is chasing out the goblin, and he goes, "Oh, hello, new customers. What can I get you to drink?"
You're a Minotaur.
Yes.
Asher,
Why
you
are you
can't just
so-
say that. That's racist.
Why are you so large? My friend he's a
Yeah, sure,
Minotaur and
you
he's
can't
only
just
half
ask
your
people
size.
why they're large.
And he just like looks at you with like a tilted head, and give me a persuasion check.
I'm
Because
not
honestly,
trying
like,
to persuade.
well,
me.
I'm also interested.
it's a how charismatic are you? Are you coming off as incredibly racist, or are you coming off as just like funny guy say silly weird thing because he doesn't realize it's racist? And he kind of just looks at you and he
Middle
goes,
of the road.
"That's a strange question to ask."
Never mind. Could I get a round of ale?
Ale! I love giving rounds of ale. And you see as he just like, does a little spin, he grabs one of the kegs and like starts pouring, and he sees as he, 6 ales then?
Indeed.
And actually, the 2 Boros members can both give a history check.
Yes, sir.
Ah!
Sir.
Tavro, you now have inspiration for this session.
Where do
and-
I do that in Foundry? Oh no! Wait,
Character sheet
yeah,
top
I found
left.
it.
Yeah, it's like top
Yeah.
left of your. Okay.
I got you. I
Um,
got you.
You can also click on what is it? Your skills tab that's like right in the middle,
Is there one?
and you can just click.
um,
You can just click like whatever skill. Do a check on.
no, inspiration, not history. So,
Sorry.
this is a different thing that we tend to not use very often. Inspiration is basically a thing that you can earn to at any point give yourself a reroll.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. Cool.
Good find.
Yeah, good job, Kai. But you see as he's like pouring out ale, he goes, four copper for an ale. 20 for 6.
I pull it out of my bag and hand it on over.
Yeah, so you slide over to Silver and he goes, welcome to the millstone. And you just see as like other people, like it's not too far afternoon. It's like 1 p.m. Everyone in this tavern that you see, like there's only like 3 people. They all look blasted. Like you see a like Rakdos performer who's just like clearly blackout drunk, who's like trying to do some like acrobatics tricks on the rafters ahead and keeps falling. You see like a knight off to the side just slamming down drinks on a table, a commoner to the side who's just like drunk and spinning around, like dancing to music that isn't there. And he goes, welcome, welcome. What brings you for a drink today? Sorry. Tavro, who got a 19 on his history check, recalls that a few years back there was a Minotaur working for the Boros who basically like he was a well-known Sunhome defender. And he followed a very similar like fighting style to you, where he would like channel energy into quite literally becoming larger and stronger. And one day he was in a fight, nobody knows the details. He never shrunk again, and ever since then he was insubordinate. He didn't really care about the Boros, and after a few weeks of that, he was relieved of his Boros duties, at which point you heard he opened up a bar.
Wow. All right. Do I happen to know his name or no?
With a 19, yes. His name is Wyroon.
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 Gotcha. I'm not meant to look like a Boros right now, so I will not comment on that at the moment.
I'm so proud of you, Tavro.
You're welcome, Fox. This is just for you.
So, once again, what brings you all in?
We just like drinking. Help.
So do I! And you see as he, like, pours himself, and you see as he has a mug that's been next to him this whole time. It's, like, 3 times the size of any other pint glass, and he just pours in and, like, starts chugging it, and he goes, the best job in the world!
I don't suppose you're the reigning chug champion here.
And you see as he puts his mug down, stares at you with, like, suddenly an extremely cold and aggressive demeanor, and he just goes, if you think you can outdrink me, you will die. Others have tried, others have died. Do not make me do this to you.
I was just commenting on how much you drank. I'm sorry, I didn't mean the challenge.
Then yes, it is good to know that I am the reigning champion.
But, we have someone that might actually give you a run for your money.
No, don't say it. No.
Because, once again, I do not want any more deaths today.
Oh, there won't be. I can
Hey,
assure you of that.
hey.
Then we will come back tomorrow!
You have nothing to worry about. Carry on.
Well, make yourselves at home. It's a little ratty. Things break a lot here. All you have to do is pay for whatever you break, pay for what you eat and drink, and you can do what you want.
Thanks, as I sort of lift my mug up in a cheers.
Cheers! And as he does this, he has already poured you an ale, Tavro, but he turns to you and goes, "Now, my brother, would you like some ale from the old traditions?"
Do I know what that means?
Yeah, it's like you were raised by Minotaurs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, before like the guild system, and this is a very cultural thing with Minotaurs, they don't tend to like when they're in polite company, they will drink ale, but it tends to not do anything. Most Minotaurs, when in the company of other Minotaurs and actually want to get drunk, they drink a basically a hard liquor, which is referred to as wyvern venom.
Spelled wyvern venom?
Yeah, wyvern venom. As far as you know, it is not actual wyvern venom. It's just
Right.
called that. But it is
Gotcha.
like an extremely strong distilled liquor.
Gotcha. And he said like drink like in the old ways. Is that what he said?
Yeah. He says, "Would you like a drink of the old traditions?"
Gotcha. Thank you. This is interesting to me. And as he says that, because I've been like I haven't been talking much, so I've just been like pretty steadily drinking my drink. I just want to like chug down like the last of like the ale in my hand, smack it down on the counter, and go, "Of course."
He goes, "Good! It's been so long since I've had a brother to drink with. You will not die today." And you see as he goes under the counter and pulls out this bottle of, like, it's bubbling similar to ale. Like, it looks carbonated. It is, like, neon blue and glowing. And he pours it into, like, the same like pint glasses that you've been drinking. So
Oh,
like a
God.
solid like 10 shots worth. And he goes,
Oh.
to the old traditions. And you see as he just starts sipping it very slowly.
I like to imagine to the old traditions, places glass down, puts head over and starts lapping it up like a cat.
He does.
Yeah, and I'll say I'll cheers to that and follow in his footsteps and start drinking it very slowly.
No,
I would just kind of like lean over.
He does it like the cows that just fucking shove their entire head into the trough of milk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tavro, are you sure that's going to be safe for your organs?
And like trying to be discreet. Like I want to like place like the pint down on the bar for a second. Turn around like so I'm facing that direction, and just lean over to Escher and go, "No."
I will revive you if anything happens.
But while I'm there, I'll put like an arm around like your shoulder and be like, ah, and then just be like, this could be an opportunity, and then just let you go, and then go back to sipping.
Intriguing.
As you sip this thing, it both feels like your throat is on fire and your chest has like an ice pack on it. It is a you've had this a few times in your life. Only a few because most places don't carry it. But
Right.
like this is very much a traditional thing. Like Minotaur family parties might have some, taverns tend not to. But you've had it a few times, and like you know that you can probably stomach this glass. Beyond that, it tends to make just about anything sick.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. Yeah, I'm not gonna do more than just this glass. And like, as I'm drinking it slowly, like, if I start to get like fucked up, I'd like to take note.
Sure. I mean, you're nursing it over time, so for now you're all right. And as you're kind of just chilling around the tavern, like you see as the acrobat like falls and crashes into a table again, and Weirun just shouts, "That's another 2 gold!"
But yeah, I'll just go. It has been. I keep forgetting voice. I just want to go. It has been quite a while since I've had the since I've drank to the old traditions.
Yes, yes. Oh, I used to be a Boros lad, and we didn't drink all that much. But, oh, once I discovered our ways from the druids of the old ways and the gruel, oh, it was a wonderful day indeed. I just had to open a tavern and share it with any of my brethren who came in. This drink is on the house.
Thank you. And
are you gruel, or have you been out to the territories?
Okay. I've actually been helping the oh fuck. Hold on.
Circle of the 13 or the rubber belt?
Yeah, it's the 14 what?
14 points.
Points, yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, let's go. I've actually been around the 14 points recently. They actually had a bit of an undead problem, if you'd believe it.
Actually, I don't. I thought their whole thing was avoiding the undead.
Oh, I know. That's why. That's why they need someone like me to come in there.
Well, those druids are good folk, as far as I can tell. So good on you for helping them out
as well. Of course.
And the rest of you, what do you all do? I like to get to know my customers, especially first-timers.
I sort of flick the chain of gold coins around my neck and say, I'm a bit of a protection offer.
Okay!
I'm sorry, were you speaking to me?
I'm speaking to all of my new customers.
My apologies, I was trying to get the curvature of your horns right, but it's rather unique at this angle.
And he
Regardless...
just, like, leans down and goes, would you like to see them closer? They're quite magnificent. And
actually, yes, hold on a second.
As he does, you actually see, as he leans closer, one of his horns has, like, a strange crack in it. Almost like a spiderweb crack that is glowing faintly red from within.
Ooh.
Huh. Sir, it appears you have a wound in one of your horns that seems to be arcane in nature? That's not indicative of Minotaur, correct?
No, it's one of the many things that makes me unique. Isn't it quite beautiful?
I'll have to make a note of that, and Escher continued just scribbling things down in his journal that he has open.
One of those sciencey folks, I take it?
Yes, you could say that. I've actually done some work with the Gruul myself. They are most intriguing in their philosophies, but useful.
And you see as he starts pouring another drink and he goes, "House rule! Scientists drink extra to catch up with the rest of us."
Is it free?
And he goes, "No!"
That's quite a house rule you have there.
It's great for business, especially surrounded by all these engineers.
I believe it. Wait, engineers? Do you get a lot of them here?
We are in the blister coils.
Are there a lot of engineers there?
This is basically just like pure is it laboratory territory.
Oh, okay. I thought we were in Gruul territory. Never mind. That makes more sense. That is not something I would question.
Fair enough.
How much is it for one drink?
4 copper.
Oh, I'm going to have to make change. All right.
You can buy 2 for 10.
So, will a silver piece do it?
Absolutely.
Sure. Why not?
And you see as he
Well-
gets out another mug and slides 2 towards you.
Oh, it's just like in university. All right.
As Wirun manages to crit succeed on his persuasion check and charge you an extra 2 copper for the second drink.
Yep.
I'll just give him a silver piece. I don't care that much.
He goes,
I still got money.
"Good! Good, now you're like the rest of us!"
Yes, indeed, like the rest of you. Now, if you would just hold still for a second, and he would kind of go. He would like he would have like just like one of them in one hand, just drinking it while at with the other hand like writing something down, just simultaneously.
Alright. And like as you're doing that, you see as he tries to get like very still and then just opens his mouth without turning and goes, "Vidalkin! There's not too many of you around here."
She literally just said BRB in the chat.
And he turns to Aldrich and goes, "Bug boy! I haven't seen you before!"
I'm pretty sure he's just a human.
No, that's just what people call him.
Yeah. He's a human that needs a bath.
Oh dear God, our
That-
cover's
yeah,
blown.
it's
We need
true.
to go.
I do indeed need a bath. I'm sorry if it's kind of stinking up your establishment.
It is A-okay. As you can tell, it's not the cleanest place. We like to we like to keep things rowdy here. Makes it more fun. And I don't have to worry about cleaning other than the bloodstains.
Ah, I see. I mean, it's not the worst place I've seen.
That's very kind of you to say. Escher, if that is a question to me, then
It's not.
yes. Oh, okay. Because alcohol is a poison.
Oh, the first one was, yes. That one was. Not the second one.
I saw the second one was to Fox. But
Yeah.
no. The first, yes, alcohol is a poison. Immunity to poison will be immunity to drunkenness.
Excellent.
And then I just want to go. Sir, would you mind stepping back for a moment?
What? I suppose this is complete enough. I'm going to have to ask you for some notes later, and I kind of like step back from my seat and.
Don't worry, it'll only be for a little bit more. And then I look to Wyrun and just be like, So, brother, and I put my my arm on the table as if to like arm wrestle. Like, shall we? Oh,
And you see as he just gets a huge smile on his face and goes, "Indeed!" And he just like sweeps off. You see as like a bunch of glasses shatter onto the ground, and he puts this giant burly hand on the table.
yeah. And then hold on. And then what I do is like as we clasp hands, but before we start, I want to take the tankard of that liquor that I have and take like an actual like decent swig of it. And then as I put it down, I'm gonna rage and grow.
Yeah, and I will say that as long as you are engaging in the arm wrestling contest,
Oh,
you
nice.
you can maintain rage. It will.
Yeah,
I
it's
know
a
it's
type of attack, right?
It's not like technically hostile, but
I'm grappling his hand.
exactly.
Shut up, Kai. No one wants to listen. I'm kidding.
And
That's
so
what
the
I'm
rest of
saying.
you see as Chavro gets larger, and Escher,
What the shit?
Escher, I need you to give me a perception check as this happens.
Yeah, I think this is the first time you're seeing this, Escher.
Yeah. Nat 1.
You perceive he is
Yeah.
big.
You have no idea what the fuck just happened. You're familiar with like spells that can enlarge people. He did not do anything like that. You just see as he takes a shot of liquor and becomes the same size as the other Minotaur. And
So it's
you
just
see,
a Minotaur thing.
you
Got it.
see as Weirun looks over at him and goes, "A true brother!" And he just shouts, "If he wins this, everybody drinks for free today!" And he puts his arm on the table, and I think I'm gonna need you to just give a straight athletics check.
Hold on. When I think I'm smart enough to figure out what's going on. I would kind of come up and I would kind of like tug the big Minotaur on his sleeve and be like, Dabra?
Yes, I'm kind of in the middle of something.
You're quite large.
And then, without saying anything, I'm just gonna turn back to the Minotaur in front of me, and I make this with advantage because I'm raging.
Well, go get him, buddy. And Escher would kind of like lean up as much as he can.
No.
Oh my god.
Hey,
hold on.
You have a inspiration if you would like to re-roll that.
Can I use that on top of an already advantage?
Yeah, so you don't get to like roll again with advantage. You just get to re-roll once and take the new one.
Yeah, but Vinny, what is this?
So I have tweaked your metabolism. This is a strength check, right? And it's
Yes.
it's just an athletics check.
It's just a straight athletics check.
You can add a D4 and add it to the result.
Oh, neat.
Yep, I've upticked your muscles, and they are now producing more energy than they normally would. So you're slightly stronger.
Taking steroids.
Superb.
And
I guess I would keep the 1d4,
Oh
right?
wait, hold on.
Across
I targeted the wrong Minotaur when I used that. Jack, can you take the effect off of him?
One second. I'll just advance us 5 minutes to make everything expire.
Oh yeah, I guess I should actually rage.
There we go. Now I put it on the right Minotaur.
All right, so you can do one more roll, not with advantage if you would like to do the inspiration, or you can just add the d4.
I will use the inspiration. I was going to until I realized I had advantage, but if you're letting me do it, then absolutely. Come on.
So yeah, you can either give yourself advantage on something or re-roll a check, but if you do it to re-roll, you have to take the new result.
I will do that.
Damn, dude.
Fuck.
Not great, honestly.
No, I
Wait,
did
hold
bad.
You didn't roll a d20.
Yeah, you didn't
Wait.
roll a d20, dude.
What? I don't know why it didn't. I literally just did the
I didn't do it like
Alright.
that.
Hold on.
My man
Hold
just
on.
rolled
I
a
literally,
d4.
I literally just clicked the athletics check. Hold on. Slash roll 1d20.
Ooh.
Dude!
Nice.
Ryan.
Hey, you know what? He might not roll well.
No.
He
wait,
didn't roll well.
let me still roll. Oh no, that is with the d4. Never mind.
Yeah, with a d4, there's no way you're hitting 20.
Yeah.
As you two just square up, you like clasp hands, and then he just smashes your arm into the table, and like you feel as it splinters a little bit. Tavro, I also need you to give me a wisdom saving throw
What the fuck?
from a separate thing that just happens to happen right now.
That's
Nah,
when I
gets a
fucking roll 14.
So you don't, yeah, like you almost feel like you get a piercing headache for a second, but then it like you just shrug it off and you're like, oh no, I lost my arm wrestling contest. Aldrich, as this happens, you see just for a few seconds a few strands of purple energy go from Kai's satchel to Tavro's head and then dissipate.
Aldrich does like a double
I
take
remember
and like
what I meant to tell you I wanted to do on the day-and-a-half break.
Oops. Sorry,
My
Aldrich,
bad.
what are you doing since you're the only one who actually sees this?
he had like a double take. So it went from Tavro to the satchel.
You couldn't really
I
tell a
don't see that
direction.
this
It's
happened.
just no one can see this but Aldrich. Aldrich is hungry, and there was just a psychic connection formed for half a second. But so you can't tell like where the origin point is. It's more of just like like those wisps of purple energy that you saw with Minkus the other day. You see again with this, just for a second, and then it dissipates. Aldrich can temporarily see psychic connections when he is starving.
Oh.
Gotta love them psychic dampier traits.
You just gonna pat Topper on the back and say, "You'll get him next time, bud."
Yeah, and you see as he slams your hand onto the table and he goes, "Oh, a good attempt, but I've been doing this for far longer than you, son."
And I just go, yes, that was not my best work, but you can bet I'll be back for a rematch.
And Escher, yes, you like Aldrich. Since you've met him, Escher has had like this little. It's almost like a swarm of psychic, like an aura of psychic connections. It doesn't go to anything else. It's just like a little swarm around him.
Oh god, oh fuck, that's why he bit me! But I don't know that, so we're okay.
As he slams your hand into the table, he goes, "It's been a long time since I've met a true brother. Last I checked, there were only two of us. Now it seems we have a third. Truly a joyous day."
Indeed, I actually do not know the extra one you're talking about.
And you just see as he pours you an entire new thing of wyvern venom and goes,
Oh fuck.
Oh my.
Well, because I imagine the one I was just drinking got knocked over, right?
yes.
Yeah. So I'll accept it. I'm not gonna drink the whole thing though.
Yeah. He pours you into one and he just goes, "Unfortunately, we lost Borborigmos to the Gruul."
I'm gonna need you to repeat that name.
Borborygmos, which everybody can make a history check if they would like.
I know who that is, that fucker.
Wow,
There's a
mine went
die
to shit because it
covering
hits.
my history check.
My
No.
die hit somebody else's. I don't think it counts.
I mean,
so none of you are
I think I
familiar
know
with
him, right, Zach?
you probably know him out of game. In
Well,
game.
no, but backstory.
Oh, actually, yes. You don't have to make a check.
Yeah, that was
because
more to see if I remember anything.
you very specifically know Borborygmos. So does Aldrich. Aldrich, being outside of the guild system, keeps up with more of the guildless and gruel politics than the rest of you. But Aldrich at Tavro know the current guild leader of the gruel, the psychotic giant cyclopean Minotaur, who currently is batshit.
And then I kind of I kind of like cough up like a little bit of like the liquor I was just drinking, and be like, yeah. You say that Borborygmos was once a brother?
First Minotaur to follow the path of the giants. Unfortunately, also the first to succumb to the evils that taint our minds. That's why I stopped fighting. Didn't want to let them progress me further than they did.
Oh. Well, that is disconcerting information, but I suppose it's good that I now know. So thank you. By the way, what? But I don't think he's actually said his name since we got here. I just know it from the story he told, right?
Borborygmos?
No, Wyvern.
Oh, yes, he has not introduced himself. You know from his history with the Boros.
Yeah, and I just want to go, by the way, we haven't properly introduced. I'm Tavro, and I hold out my hand for a hando shako.
And he, like, puts out his hand, which is still massive. Like, it's back to being way larger than yours, and he goes, "Well met, I'm Weirun."
Superb. I was not expecting this today, but I'm glad this has happened.
Me as well, brother. And then, as soon as he, like, says that, like, you see as he just gets distracted and goes, "Vidalkin! What brings you here? There's only one other of your kind that comes in often."
Gideon just kind of points to the Orzhov insignia that he was wearing, and he's like, "Oh, I'm with this fella who bought us all the nice drinks."
Well, if he's paying, then you're a good customer of mine.
I'll drink to that. Gideon like raises his glass and then just chugs the rest of it while like he has his eyes closed and then he opens them to see if the Minotaur is still looking at him, and then when he is, he just keeps going.
Yeah, you see as he's like chugging down this pint glass that's so large, and like he just chugs with you, and then as it empties, he just like smirks. And while this is happening, I believe that we have a conversation going on between Kai and Aldrich. Or not. You guys don't have to have a conversation if you don't want to.
I responded balls kind of in Aldrich's court.
Yeah, sorry, I was typing it out. And also trying to think of the response because I'm like, oh, he's right.
Like, we met
Uh,
2-3 days ago, maybe? And now you just...
yeah,
It's not
Yeah,
even that,
it's
like...
been about 3 days.
yeah, 3 days.
I mean, let it be known, like, how I said that, like, it wasn't supposed to be, like, menacing. It's like... You ask what's in my bag, and I'm just like, why do you want to know? We don't know each other.
He's like,
Who are you?
Sai's like, yeah, no, you're right. And he's like, sorry. And he goes like, it's just something felt off between whatever you're carrying and the bull, man. But also, as he kind of smacks
I
his lips
have
again,
with the bull?
something that seems also tasty.
You're worrying me.
As he like apologizes again and just starts to walk back off toward.
God, face throw.
Hides behind Asher.
Perhaps we should be making time to meet with our friends. I say to Tabro, giving him a slap on the back and then a wink.
Indeed.
Leaving so soon.
Oh, we will be back, I say as I give a little chuckle to large cow.
Wait. You're saying you want to leave? I thought we were gonna like meet at a table or something.
No, I meant we have a friend to meet, and perhaps we will then convince them to come back with us for a round.
Oh, it's actually, that could work.
And I just go, very well. And I drink a little bit more of the liquor. And I just go, I believe we'll be back.
Very good. We have much to discuss about the old traditions.
Indeed, of course.
Hey bartender, you want some bread?
And he
Well,
goes,
actually, yes. Would you like an apple tart?
and you just see as he like licks his lips a little bit, and he goes, "Are you offering?"
I am. Nice. I go into that sack I have and give him one like the little tarts wrapped in like the wax paper or whatever.
And you see as he looks down, sniffs it, and he goes, and you just hear him shout out to another room, and he goes, he shouts, "Valish, your baker friend sends gifts!" And after a
Wait.
few...
Who did he just yell to?
Oh, you know who he just yelled to.
after like a moment after this, you see as a door back here opens, and a Vidalcan wearing like, is it Mizium armor steps out and goes, "Did you say something, Wyroon? Did you call?"
I would like to pull out like 10 of these lotus loaves and just be like,
And she just looks at you and goes, "They went to a bakery I frequent. Is that reason enough to call me out? I'm not as sociable as you, Wyroon." He just goes, "Nonsense, nonsense! We have new friends for you to meet! They like the same pastries as we do, therefore we are brethren!" And you see as she just sighs and walks forward and goes, "So, I guess we're brethren now."
I like the way Wyroon thinks.
Hello. Yeah, Escher, this is the person you came to find.
Thought so. I remembered.
You remembered without needing keen mind. You just remembered from being a person.
Yeah, and
I'll just-
as he approaches, I'm gonna take another one out and put it like on like the side, like the bar that he's walking up to.
I'm just gonna pull out a silver too and be like, perhaps another couple of drinks too. One for our new guest.
Not for me. I'm still drinking the fucking liquor.
And you see as he like starts pouring a new mug of ale for both you and Fallish. And you see as like Fallish immediately like kind of like becomes a little less cold and goes, "Now that's a introduction I can get behind a bit more than the, well, shouting."
I have more as well, if it would please you.
I just
she
sort of-
kind of turns to you and goes, "I more meant the ale, but thank you."
Oh,
No one wants your neon blue drink, man. It's a lie, I do. I wish to die.
And as all of you approach the table, he goes, "More drinks for everybody, then."
I suppose so, as I pull out another silver piece and then the other copper to cover a round of 7.
I
Let's go.
would.
I'm good for now, brother.
Who knew,
Escher would
Fox?
kinda
Your money
come
would
over
be
here.
good for something.
Escher would kind of slide between Tavro and Fox, and he would just put a gold piece on the table and be like, "Get them whatever they need for now."
Very appreciated. All right, everybody, this guy's paying. And you see as he just starts like handing out he starts handing out and pouring drinks for everybody. And Fallish is like starting to smile and goes, "So, other than, well, pastries, is there anything that we have in common? I see you have another Vidalkin, but that's just, I don't mean to be racially insensitive, but that's not really enough of something to have in common for our friendship."
We usually
Oh, yeah, kind
we
of.
usually carry around a engineer with us as well, who certainly would be having a heyday as well. We'd have to come back and bring them, but I did learn some interesting information at Numa's. As I sort of like drop the friendly smile I've had before and stare Fowler straight in the eye and says, "She says she has a new regent in your vials already."
Oh, now that's a message that I'm quite happy to hear. Yes, I think, Fallish, can we use the back room? Of course!
Wait,
I think, would you all mind to follow me? I think this is a, conversation that warrants a bit of privacy.
As I just
Yeah. And you
Bloop.
see,
I
As
smother Kai. Oh wait.
Nope, I would like to just jump
Oh,
down this
never mind.
grate.
these are some nice crucifixes you have back here. Flaying people. You do a lot of
Sometime-
flaying back here, big guy.
sometimes at night, some of the Rakdos come in, and I let them
Okay,
perform
enough
on any...
said.
Oh,
Enough said.
understood.
Message received. Let's
Yeah, and he just calls up behind you, "Anyone who steals from me gets to be the night's entertainment." And
Oh,
Fallish leads to the side, and you see as she like pulls out a key, unlocks a door, and then like ushers you all through. And you see another soldier in here. Don't go over that trapdoor, Escher.
okay. I thought it was a table.
Table,
Trapdoor.
table, table.
Don't go over it. I mean, you can if you want. It'll just, take you off the map.
Wait, you can do that?
I've been working on improving my craft.
Interesting.
And you see as she shuts the door behind, and there's like a soldier in there who kind of like pulls out his sword as you're all walking in, and Felsh goes, it's all right, Joseph. They're with me. Would you mind giving us some privacy? And you see as he just silently nods and walks out through the door before it gets shut.
Did he look to have a guild?
He... You notice specifically, he was wearing Boros uniform, but not the insignia.
As I look him up and down as he walks by, and then once the doors close, I just say, Boros?
Ex-Boros. Doing some freelance bodyguarding for the time being.
That seems to be the theme of the pattern, don't it?
Yes, and luckily for me, Joseph's someone I've known for a long time. He's someone I can trust. Now, you say that, Nogra has my order ready for me. I didn't know she had been able to figure out the formula yet.
Indeed. To quote her quite specifically, she has she has figured out the regent and has now a few vials ready for whenever you perchance have the opportunity to pick them up. But that was a side note to some of the other interesting things she said.
Oh well, count me as very interested. What else did she say?
Well, as I sort of... Are there no chairs in this room?
So
Sir,
you
you
see
do
that
not
this
need
is
a
like
chair for dramatic effect.
this is like a back stock room. Like there's a little like wash basin. There's some storage. There's like a chest you could sit on, but this doesn't seem to be a room like for meetings. It is very clearly just a storage room with what looks
Alright.
to be like a trapdoor down to a cellar in the middle.
Time to extract information the best way I can. Now, don't fret. Your Baker friends certainly did not give off any information, but I have heard about you in some circles and was actually quite surprised to find you already here.
I like to spend my free time here. I have a good relationship with the owner. It seems all of a sudden you all do too.
Yeah, we got a cow.
As I'm still just drinking liquor.
And she looks at you and goes, yes. Yes, I see that, this isn't a very Boros-friendly bar, so not too many Minotaurs come in. I think he was excited to see one of his own kind.
Indeed, it certainly seemed that way.
Now, what else is it that you said was very interesting? So far you just say you've heard of me. I am an engineer of some renown, so this doesn't surprise me.
Well, I know there are certain folk that have been getting close to certain information about, well, who you sell to. And that information is on the precipice of reaching each other's ears. And if several people all at once learns who you were selling to, well, perhaps they might be a little unhappy with that information. So I'm just here offering our services to you.
Give me a persuasion check. And with that, she goes, ah, so you do know quite a few things. All right.
You
I'll,
could
I'll,
say I'm quite well connected on the streets.
I'll bite. Who did you get your information from?
As I just smile and say, I don't get my information directly. I have people who help with that. Let's just say I have my sources.
Understood. And so which of my customers are finding out that I may have other customers?
We believe there's a contact in Cranko's boys, as well as one in the Tin Kings. The simple fact is, we can get to them. However, we don't want to explicitly say who they are. That is where you come in. For some minor fee and a little bit of information about them as well, we can root out and figure out and deal with this issue, and you will not have to worry about any of this dangerous information about yourself coming to light.
And give me another persuasion check. You see a shot and goes, Krenko just placed an order. They wouldn't be sniffing around quite yet. Although I did hear that he knocked off one of the Shattergang brothers.
And that Shattergang brother is now revived.
Interesting. That I hadn't heard about yet. In that case, yes, they are going to find out about my playing the field. All right. You've got my interest. You say you want information? Very well. What do you need me to trade you to silence this little issue?
We'll be needing a few things. Either the location of both the... Hold on, let me... We'll need a couple of things. The location of the Tin Kings and Kranko's boys, where they are specifically been hiding out. It is my understanding that Kranko has been holed up on Foundry Street in the past few days. We just need to locate exactly where his men have been going in and out. And perchance you're not privy to that information, perhaps lead us to some of the members of the gang will be. We can extract that information ourselves with our own methods.
Your understanding is correct. Krenko is on Foundry Street. Now, I can give you two ways of getting there, and it depends on what you're doing when you do get there. Is Krenko the one that you're silencing? Or rather, whoever in his group? Or are you going to be siding with him above the Shattergang and the Tin Kings?
I just sort of smile and look at her and say, well, I suppose there is some argument there. Which one's more profitable?
Everyone in the 10th district knows that if Krenko returns to power, he'll absorb the other gangs again. Now, I don't care who wins. As long as some group comes out on top, I'll have customers.
Then in that case... Go ahead.
What I need to know is whether I should simply tell you where the hideout is, or if you're going to be assisting with his return to form, I may be able to get you in there a bit more discreetly. let's say.
So you prefer him? Would you not like it to still have the gangs vying for power, so that you can continue your, well, merchant
When one
merchant ways?
when one gang rises, there are others who think that they can take its place. One of these three gangs is going to come out on top soon, especially if they all find out that there's been some cross-dealing. Now, I have connections with all three. I can give you a discreet introduction, or I can just tell you the location. But if you're going to be heading to one, frankly, if they're going to be coming back to me, I need you to either eliminate that threat or side with them to eliminate the others.
The location. I do not feel giving up our side just yet is information we want floating about.
Very well. But I do have your assurance if I share his whereabouts, you will be doing one or the other?
Indeed, they will be silenced, I can assure you.
Very well. Yes, there's a old warehouse on Foundry Street. It's right next to the canals. His gang avoid detection. They run through the sewers and the canals. It's how they traverse without being too conspicuous. Go to that warehouse. Understand that if you go in guns blazing, many of them will escape, as they do have direct access to the sewers. But I can tell you where they are. Just don't go tomorrow morning. Wait until the afternoon. I have a delivery, you see, and if you show up at the same time, it'll look poorly on me.
And of course your profit lines would suffer. We cannot have that.
See, now you're someone who understands me. And she, describes how to get to the specific factory that Krenko's gang has been rebuilding out of over, the last month that he's been out.
Alright, I sort of nod and thank her, then say, oh, by the way, the weapons you sell, we have another member of our party who would be quite interested in them. I don't suppose we could arrange a conversation at some point to browse some wares.
I'm always looking for new customers. If any of you are interested in... And she kind of looks around at you and goes, I feel a few of you I could do some tinkering or upgrades on your weapons. Trust me, they may not be as, official as what you can find in the normal shops. But they pack quite a bit of punch. You think Krenko would be able to get out of all those prisons each time if it wasn't for what I supply him? Yes, if you're looking for new weaponry, I can help you.
He's broken through magical barriers. I don't suppose that was you or some other thing Krenko has.
I have another associate. Provides me with some specific materials. Allowed me to craft him a very special blade indeed. Ties in with his blood curse. Allows him certain abilities.
As a sort of
Force
nod.
barriers is one of those.
That's quite the blade. What else did you put on it? If that's quite the capability, I'm certain, though, you would not limit it just at that.
Oh no, that blade can do many things, but I do have some privacy between me and my clients.
Oh,
I'll give
of
you his
course.
location. I can tell you that me and another associate are much of his power, although I guess we can't claim everything. That blood curse really is something. But, no, if you're looking for a special enhancement on your weapons, trust me, I'm your engineer.
Or does anyone else have anything to say?
Still hardly know the information we have.
Gideon
Oh,
just
we have the location. And that's the big.
Yeah, you have the location of Krenko's hideout now.
Yeah, I got that. I
what-
mean, I don't have any information that Fox did not have to ask about.
Well, there's also like the magic weapons, I suppose, but you're all poor
Yeah.
anyway.
Got one.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing to get today, unless anyone wants it.
Then I suppose we can head out of here. And then, what time is it?
At this point, you've probably spent an hour at the tavern, putting you at about 2 p.m.
Because I'm just thinking of if Liz is here next session and we end it soon, that'd still be a couple of
Yeah.
weird hours.
I do think that this is probably a good place to end it. You just got a lot of information. You found kind of the
Yeah.
next place to go. And she told you to not go to Krenko's hideout before tomorrow anyway, where you've already planned to meet Clara at the night market tomorrow morning. So this can be another thing where, like, you guys have like a solid 5 hours of daylight left. If you want to just message me your downtime activity before next week, you can kind of just like do any shopping or individual things that you need.
I'm going to work!
And good.
All right. Well, good session, everybody. And Tava,
So